Hi everyone, Jeff Chandler with Seven Peaks Fence and Barn. Today we're going to show you how to easily install one of our swing gates. So let's jump on in and show you step by step on how we did this. Before you get started on installing your gate or replacing your gate, you're really going to want to analyze, the access point, your gate, your placement, just really see how it's going to work and what you want to do to change it or make it work properly. So as you can see here, this gate is hung on this side. And it's actually hung on the outside of the post, and the reason for that is so you can swing it all the way open this way. So that's good and all. I actually honestly would have preferred hanging this gate off of this fence. What's nice is it does swing all the way open, but the reason for that is, say you have a truck or a tractor or a trailer coming up this way, we're at a 90-degree angle right here, or fence line. If this gate would have only been able to open straight this way, you would have a really hard time if you were making a turn or if you had tight space really getting through here. But if it was up against that fence and out of the way, you would have no issues. So that's a reason why they really made it on the outside, so this could swing all the way there, so it works fine. I would have preferred it on this end, so it was up out of the way, nothing in the way over on this post as you're accessing in and out of this entryway. But for our gates, we're actually replacing this one swing gate with two swing gates. So how I look at it is we're gonna have one hung off of this fence, and we're gonna wanna make sure we do the same thing. We're gonna hang it on the outside of the post so it swings all the way open. Because if you don't, if you put your J-bolt on the inside, this gate's gonna stop somewhere right here. So it's gonna be in the way, just like I said, if you're trying to make a turn or bringing a big trailer or tractor through here, we want it all the way up against the fence, completely out of the way. And then for this one over here, we'll be all right putting it on the inside. We're only coming to here 90 degrees. This J-bolt will be just fine placing it on the inside to have the gate go up against the fence. So I'm going to show you how that works today. We're going to go dive into it. The materials that we're going to need and the products we're going to need to install this gate are, first and foremost, we're going to need our gates, right? So the biggest part we're going to want to know is the measurement in between the posts, and that our gates actually fit between those posts, because there's been times, one, you either measure wrong, or two, somebody cut something wrong and the gates are wrong. Well, you're in the middle of installing and it's not right, and you have to hold off, and you took the gate down and you have no gate anymore. So make sure before you take the gate off that you have the right size gate. Next, you want to make sure you have your hinges. So with our gates, we typically sell J-bolts and bolt-on hinges. Now these bolt-on hinges are going to go onto your gate, and your J-bolts are going to go through your post and attach to your gate. Just as you can see here, we got the J-bolt going through the post and the bolt-on hinge on the gate itself and attached to the J-bolt. So I'm going to show you how these work. The hardware and the products. So you're going to need your gates, make sure they fit, and you're going to need hinges of some sort, and in this case we're going to use bolt-on hinges and J-bolts for this video. Now the tools that you're going to need to install this gate, it's super simple, and you really don't need a lot of tools to make this happen. What you're going to need is a drill, and what you need a drill for is to drill a hole through your post for your J-bolt. Okay, so you're going to need a drill, and you're going to need a drill bit. What works really good is these Milwaukee hole dozers. Okay, so there's going to be a hole dozer, there's going to be a drill bit. Hole dozer goes over the drill bit, and there's actually a full kit for these. You're going to drill through the post with the drill and the drill bit. The only other tool really that you're going to need is a crescent wrench, and that's going to be to tighten and adjust your J-bolts as well as your bolt-on hinges. So it's really simple, easy to install. These are the only tools you really need. You could always have a crescent wrench for your bolt-on hinges to make it a little bit easier, but this is really the only tools you need. Super simple. So let's dive on in, take this gate down, and start putting our other gates on, and see how it looks. So before we can hang the gate, we got to have our bolt-on hinges on, as well as our J-bolts. But on here, we actually already have these ones on this end, so I'm going to utilize those because they're already here. We will have to put new ones on the other side because there wasn't any, but we're going to use these ones. So let's get these bolt-on hinges on. So you're going to take the bolts off, hit these on the gates, and tighten them with your either crescent wrench or your socket set. So let's jump on into that. All right, make sure you have your safety eyeglasses and your gloves before you get diving into this drilling, because you don't want anything flying in your eyes or cutting your hands. So We're gonna drill these holes real quick for the J-bolt. All right, we got our first gate on, and we just drilled our holes for our J-bolts on our second gate. We got our bolt-on hinges on our second gate, so we're going to be putting those J-bolts on and hanging this gate, and then really the next step is making sure it's level, lined up, looks real nice. So yeah, we'll jump into it and keep going. Alright, so we just got our second gate pre-hung. It's basically hung, but it's not where we want it quite yet. We just want to get it up. And so it's on the J-bolts with the bolt-on hinges, as you can see here. Now, if you look at this, you can see this gate is uneven with the other one. The first thing you want to look at is your gap. Really, you want 1.5 inch, 2 inch gap is pretty typical, but you want to make sure it's even at the top and bottom, because that'll let you know if your gates are level with each other. Now to adjust that, as you can see here, it's pretty close, but I'd say the bottom is maybe just a hair too close in to the top is a little bit wider. So the way that you adjust that is by coming over here to your J-bolt. If the top is too wide, you're gonna loosen it up so it brings it in. If the bottom is too close, you're gonna bring it in tighter. So these bolts right here is how you adjust it up or down depending on what you need on your gap. So we'll adjust that real quick, and then we're gonna adjust level here after that. All right, so we got the gate pretty much level with each other. That gap's pretty good. So to do that, again, J-bolts are gonna be what adjust your gate as far as up or down. The bolt-on hinges are gonna be what adjust it height-wise. Okay, so we're gonna loosen this up. We're a little low here. As you can see, it's not level with the other gate. So we're gonna loosen the bolt-on hinges, raise it up just a little to match this, and we should hold the same gap here and we'll be good to go. So we're gonna adjust that right now. All right, we just lifted this side up. We moved down these bolt-on hinges. We tighten them, and as you can see here, it looks a lot better. This one's down a little bit, so I'm going to adjust that, but it's a lot better than it was. You can see the gap is still a nice gap there for us. We're going to finish tightening up this side now. We're going to tighten the J-bolts and the bolt-on hinges for that gate, and we should be able to get it pretty dang straight on. So we're almost there, guys, so let's finish this up real quick. All right, guys, we just finished our gate installs. We made sure the top was level, as you can see here. We made sure our gap was even. We adjusted both of those with the J-bolts and bolt-on hinges. You can make it just as perfect as you want it. So we're super happy how it turned out. These are how we install our gates. Now the last thing we got to do is put a sticker on. All right, guys, we're all finished here. Just want to show you again, based on how we analyzed everything, how we wanted these gates to open. We put the hinges on the outside so that this gate could swing all the way to the fence. Now, if you would have done that on the inside, it would have only opened to here. So now that we've got that on the outside, we can set it there. We can tie it up if we want it. It's typically going to stay. And then here, this gate was in the inside, just like you normally would. Well, it's on a 90 degree, so it's going to be right where it needs it to be. So now you got a great opening. We planned it well, and these are our swing gates here at Seven Peaks Fence and Barn. Hey guys, I want to show you if you're worried about J-bolts and how they hold up. No issues here with these J-bolts. No issues with this gate. They hold up really well. I'd have no worries. Thank you so much for watching our video today on how to install one of our swing gates, brought to you by Seven Peaks Fence and Barn.